perfect. Got brew here.
Oh.
Do you want yours?
Yeah, please. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. How is that peppermint?
Terrific.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
I've been thinking about throwing it out.
No.
Oh, keep it.
Oh, yeah,
I think it needs to
keep
go in a jar. An airtight container.
I'm not fussed.
Fine.
I think you'd feel better if it was in an airtight container.
Any excuse to shop.
Yeah, of course. It's a lovely box, though.
Hello, I'm Jules.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
And welcome to Jules and Sarah, the Q&A.
Hi, come on in. Questions and their answers.
Yes.
Answers probably with more questions at the end of it as well.
I'm so excited about doing a Q&A because I love talking about myself. I also like the fact that we've sat down in like a Holly and Phil style this morning show, just having a brew, ready to talk about ourselves.
That's it. I feel like I'm ready to interview you about your artworks, the things around your home that really make your home what it is. We've also got a brew, which we just found. It was we just discovered it on here. We were like, oh yeah, we made tea. Great. So here we are.
Should we get cracking?
Okay, so question 1. These have come in from Twitter. This is from Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
If you could only eat one type of cheese for the rest of your life, what would it be? Hashtag, it's a tough one.
It is tough.
It is. I mean, obviously, we've talked about this a lot. Port Salut, you know, our go-to, kind of what we're built on, really. I think we are 80% Port Salut now.
Most human beings are 80% water, we're 80% Port Salut. So we couldn't be cannibals.
No.
So we're going to put Port Salut to one side.
It's a very weird concept.
We're going to put Port Salut to one side, so we have to choose a different type of cheese. Okay,
so do you think it means like whole different types of cheese? Like, for example, I love feta, but I also love all the white cheeses around that.
No, but you've got to be more specific.
Okay,
all right. You can't just pick white cheese.
Could I go for county cheese, like Lancashire, Cheshire, Gloucestershire, Red Leicester?
No, that just means you're getting like more cheeses. You just
That's
need to
a good
pick
genre of cheese though, isn't
county
it? The
cheese.
Shires.
Yes, I shall eat the Shires.
I shall eat them all.
I'm actually gonna go with feta.
Are you?
Yeah, because feta I never
feel
get
quite
bored.
proud.
I never get bored of, and it's not overpowering.
No.
And you can crumble it on things. You can melt it into eggs. You can have it on oatcakes as a get home from work snack. I think if I was going to eat it for the rest of my life, I wouldn't want something that was really flavoursome.
Yeah.
Like an obvious choice, an instant choice would be like blue or halloumi. But no, I'm going to go with feta because it's pretty vanilla.
It'll always be there for you. It'll always stay true.
Feta is there for you.
Yeah, feta. Everything's better with feta.
Sarah, what about you?
Well, feta, obviously, being my favourite cheese of all time. Okay, I'm going to go with this. This is controversial. Cottage cheese. I'm going to go with cottage cheese. Cottage cheese, very versatile, always there for you. Longley Farm cottage cheese, my one true love in life.
You're obsessed with it, aren't you?
I am. I'm trying to get up to that farm, honestly. I keep writing to them, haven't heard back yet.
Cottage cheese for me is too acidic unless it's blended with an oat. We'll leave it at that.
So this is coming from Sean. Hi,
Sean.
How long does it take to find a good News from the North story? Where do you look? Love you guys.
Oh, love you too, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
I think with News from the North, you sometimes have weeks where you find it instantly.
Yeah.
And it's literally at the front of the page and it's like, Grandma lost in Sainsbury's. And you're like, oh, great, here we go. Or there are some weeks where you get like a cold panic where you can't find anything. Like, if truth be told, it can be grim up north.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, like, you're very up to speed on court cases, on court appearances, arrestings, like horrible things that's happening in the north. And then all of a sudden you find this little glimmer of beacon hope. But there are some weeks, aren't there, where you just cannot find one.
Honestly, and I mean, we trawl online. We do it all online, don't we? I mean, occasionally June will send a Wilmslow Express in the post, but often it's fruitless. But actually, I think local newspapers are moving more and more away from those brilliant stories as well, so that makes it a little bit harder sometimes to find it, because sometimes they want the hard-hitting news. And I got a lot of travel updates as well. There's a lot of travel updates.
But I found recently the best ones to find are like villages.
Yeah.
So I'm going down from towns and cities into village news, and that is where it goes ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, Hamlets. Very, very good. Excuse me.
Gosh, I nearly lost you there, didn't I?
Nearly passed Emma. Nice and simple from Emma. Who's your favourite Spice Girl?
Oh my God. Well, at the time, it was Jerry. Like, I just desperately wanted to be Ginger Spice. Yeah. But now I think she's a bit of a knob.
Oh no!
I'm just not a Jerry fan. So I think, like, I'm either going to go with Posh or I kind of like Sporty now.
Yeah, Mel C.
She's got the vocal range.
And you know what? She's lovely as well. She's really,
Have
really
you met her?
I met her. I interviewed her for my radio show and she was dreamy. Like, really, really lovely.
Have you met all the Spice Girls?
Have I? No. I think she's the only one I've met. Though I did bump into Emma Bunton in some loos at a cinema once. Wow. Yeah, and she was I didn't say anything.
I've never tanned a Spice Girl. Can you believe it? It's been like my one accolade. That's all I've wanted to ever do is tan a Spice Girl.
Yeah. See, Posh, I can see that for you because chic, and then Mel C for the more northern
grit.
Yes. I think I'd go with Mel C actually. Emma doesn't. Emma's very nice, but you know.
She's vanilla.
Yeah, she is. We
like a little bit of flavour.
No, Emma, if you're watching, if you're listening, you're gorgeous.
You've got great legs.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go. See, I would have said Jerry. You've put me off for a bit.
You can take her. You can go with
I'm going to go with Mel C.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Sporty, Mel C.
I believe it's my turn to read now. So, we have got Alice here. How did you two fabulous folks meet and become such an iconic duo?
Oh, love the use of iconic.
Yes, a duo made me think of like two sauces, like ketchup and mayo.
All right. Made me think of like oh God, it made me think of thrush treatment. I'm so sorry. You know there's a thing called duo.
Caniston duo.
Yes.
God. I have actually no idea how I've ended up with this girl in my life.
Yeah, you know exactly how you do. You've tempted me in. Come on. A little bit of Port Salut, a little bit of snacks and things like that, and now I'm here and I won't leave.
I think we've answered this question before, but if you don't know the answer to this, I was doing spray tans on Strictly Come Dancing, and Sarah... Don't sing the theme tune, it makes me go cold.
We're on it 5!
So what it was like.
Oh, love!
Didn't have a life for 3 years. But Sarah interviewed me for her radio show and I had a friend crush, and when I want to be friends with someone, this happens.
Yeah, cling on. Yeah, don't let go. And I obviously fell completely in love with Jules, and then actually we just weren't seeing each other enough. We just wanted to see each other more, so we said, well, if we do a podcast every week, we'll have to see each other. We can just have some nibbles, and then, you know, if we don't want to do the podcast anymore, we'll just meet up every week. And actually, the podcast has been one of the greatest things I've ever done.
And me. Yeah. But there was an amazing moment where I asked Sarah to come to a party with me, and this party was for a phone brand. And I was like, well, Sarah, you know, do you want to come? I've got a +1. So I was like, yeah. So I was trying to be all like chic and fabulous because this phone company wanted to like work with me on something. And I look over and Sarah was on a skateboard going, film me, darling, film me, as she just skateboarded off across through this crowd.
And the best thing was I had all the pads on, didn't I? I had knee pads and elbow pads and a helmet for insurance. I had to sign something that says if you fall off. And literally, I could not have been going any slower. I was like this. I was like, now, darling, film me now. Film me now.
And I was just like, this girl is the right level of insane. Like, yes. I want to hang out with someone this crazy.
Oh, love you. So this is from lovely Holly Evans.
Hi, Holly.
2993 on Instagram. Would actually love to know how you both got into your careers, if pos. Well, it is pos. Absolutely, Holly. So what was your degree?
So I did international fashion marketing at Manchester Met, and then I interned. I started interning, and then I just kind of ended up doing this job that I do by accident. It just organically happened. But if you want to listen to more closely about how I got into my career, there's an amazing podcast called The Emma Gunn Show, and that's a whole hour of me talking about careers. So go have a listen to that, because it will just save me time discussing it all here. I actually don't know how you got into yours. So
I did drama and theatre studies at university.
You'd have never known.
I know, shy little thing that I am. So I did that, and then I always loved radio. I always loved listening to the radio. And the student radio and the hospital radio that they did have at my university in Aberystwyth in Wales.
Lovely.
Unfortunately, the training was on a Monday night and there was a really good night on in town on the same night.
Ooh.
In Aberystwyth, there's only 2 clubs, right? There was the Union and there was a club that's on the pier, like the actual pier, called Peer Pressure.
Enjoying that.
That's what it's called. So the night was on at Peer Pressure. So I never went to the training. Left uni, moved home, and still wanted to do radio. So rang a really tiny little local station up near Mum's. And they said, have you got any experience? I was like, yeah, did loads of hospital radio at uni. Yeah, did loads, yeah. And they were like, have you got a demo? And so I quickly had to do a demo. And it was before like phones. And
what did you do it on?
I went, my sister's cello teacher had like a little studio with like a microphone, so I rang him and I went round there and like recorded some links, talked about Coronation Street and wagon wheels and took it in and just hung around, and it was just really great timing because the person was moving off weekends and anyway, so I got a slot there. And yeah, just did that. Just did radio and just kept moving, went to Brighton for a bit, came up to London with voiceovers.
Oh yeah, Sarah does, if you didn't know. I'm sorry I'm laughing. I'm laughing at you saying that you talked about wagon wheels because she still do that now.
Yeah, it's still...
continuing
It's served me for 10 years.
But Sarah does the voices in between TV shows.
Yeah, I
But
used to do it.
So cool. I love that. But sometimes Sarah will do like the voiceover of like a shampoo ad and you'll have it on in the background and be like, this season, get the look on. And you're like, hang on a minute.
I know her. Her hair always looks like hell. What's she talking about? So yeah, that's kind of how I did. A lot of the same as you. A lot of turning up, hanging around, making lots of tea,
doing free work.
Yeah, yes. Unpaid work, still very common. Cheap and available is something that's always served me very well.
Okay, so next question was via the YouTube comments. You think I don't check them? I do. All of them. This is from Lauren Crowther. I hope I pronounced your surname right. Hi, Lauren. How did you both make it in London? Been a Leeds lass myself. Advice for a fellow northerner pal. And would you ever move back up north?
I would love to move back up north. I love the north. Every time I go up, I go, this is great, this is easy, the people are lovely, everything's reasonably priced. It's
so reasonable.
When you come to London, you realise that, £25 for a prawn sandwich
won't even get you to shut the door.
No.
You've spent that before you lock the house.
It's true, you have to pay that to get the Wi-Fi code. London, I constantly fall in and out of love with London, and it can be really lonely, actually. It can be quite a lonely place, I find, especially if you've got no money. Then, yeah, it can be... But having said that, there's so much free stuff and there's always stuff going on. And at first that can be really overwhelming. So you just need to think, I can only do what I can do. I can only do what's in front of me. Because I got quite bad FOMO when I first moved to London. I was like, well, I'm going to this, but what if there's something better somewhere going on?
Did you?
Yeah, so you just have to kind of get rid of that. I mean, that's FOMO, isn't it? It's pointless.
When I first moved to London, I remember being quite overwhelmed at how big it was, and I remember thinking, God, there's so many areas. What are all these areas? But my friend said to me, another northern friend said, just imagine it like lots of little villages joined together, and then it makes it really easy to understand, and that's how I do. But now, I mean, I drive around London. I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on. No, I'm not. Oh, now I drive around London. I am. Oh,
horrible.
Now I drive around London and I don't even need sat nav, like I know back routes.
You're amazing. If I have to drive in London, I am found weeping, probably across a whole turning, people around me trying to get round, with me just crying in the middle. I cannot drive in London at all.
I definitely could have a black cab. I reckon.
You'd be great in a black cab. Jules' chic black cab. If you're not chic, you're not coming in.
Would I ever move back up north?
Yeah.
Well, it depends who I meet. Because if I meet someone who lives down here, then obviously not.
Yeah.
But I would love to move back north. I think Leeds is getting very fun, and God love the northern house prices.
Absolutely.
Oh, what a stinger it is down here, let me tell you.
So these next few questions have come in from a lovely lady called Michelle G. Bit 90s there, Michelle,
Hi, Michelle G.
And Michelle has got a blog, The Unfinished Bookshelf. You can find her on Instagram. And so she sent a few questions. Michelle's got questions and they need answering. So she says, which is lovely, you two and all the old episodes of the podcast helped me through a breakup. You're better off without him, Michelle
Yeah,
G.
what a dick.
Absolutely.
Shut the door on that one.
Or her. You two have helped so many people through tough times with the podcast, our own included.
Yes.
So many members of the Portslade crew have shared their love. They have. How do you feel when people tell you the difference you've made for them, and how do you feel about having created this community?
What a deep question.
It blows my mind that when we hear that you've texted each other about it, or you have written to us, or you've sent us something, or you've just tweeted to say you're listening, it still completely blows my mind. I had a tweet the other day from someone that said, just discovered the podcast. And the fact that people are discovering it and sharing it and listening and going back, because God knows what we were talking about on the first, for the first couple of months. I mean, we were really finding our way.
They were quite boozy though as well.
They were actually.
We thought we could get away with being pissed and recording, but we actually definitely can't. That one, I think it was episode 3 where we get absolutely shit-faced.
Yeah. We did. Something to go back and binge on. So yeah, I mean, and to hear that we're making a difference,
it's just divine. I get very emotional.
Yeah.
I think it's when that's something that you don't expect. Obviously, we just wanted to have fun and be giggly and make people feel good. But when you're making people feel good who find it difficult to feel good, then that is. It's a wonderful accolade to have in your life, and it definitely makes me work even harder and want to keep making content to make you guys feel good, because yes, we don't get paid, but it also costs us nothing to give you this good vibes and good energy.
And it gives us the same, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We get as much out of doing it. I mean, that's how it started, very selfishly, just so we could have a nice time.
Yes.
And it's as much... God, it's as good for us as it is for you.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
What would you say is the best thing about each other?
The best thing about you is, Sarah and I once had to record a podcast the day after I had broken up with my boyfriend, and I felt pants, really didn't want to do it. Sarah was like, are you sure you want to do it? And I was like, no, I definitely want to record. It is awful, but I can't let Portslade crew down. And Sarah has this amazing ability that I could be feeling 2%, and by the time I leave Sarah, I'm back up to 100. That is the best thing about you, is that you just make me feel amazing. And I can be the most ridiculous person ever, and there's never any judgment.
None. There is no judgment. How could there be? There's no judgment. And actually, I need to say that you give me exactly the same. I'll come round, I'll be in a horrible mood, I'll be having a fat day, I'll just be feeling dreadful, despairing, don't know what I'm doing with my life. And you'll always get me. When I leave, I'm always springing my step out of the front door. So exactly the same. And you are, the best thing about you is how bloody hilarious. We cry, don't we? We do that thing where, we really make each other laugh. Sometimes there'll be a group of people and we'll say something and everyone will be like, oh yeah, but you and me will be like really making each other laugh.
Tell them what just happened in the kitchen with me and my makeup brush.
Oh my gosh, so this makeup, the whole makeup thing in itself is hilarious. I'll just look over, I'll be talking to Jules, I won't know what he's doing, and I'll look over and he'll be misting, powdering, mattifying, touching up, retouching, glossing, doing this. I was like, oh, where is he? Oh, he's mattifying, don't worry. And there was this dancing around. Well, it was that Laura Mercier powder, wasn't it? You were like, look at this, it's going everywhere, dabbing it on,
but
flying
basically
everywhere.
Just waving my makeup brush like this in Sarah's face, and she was like, what are you doing? I was like, I've got no idea.
I've got to read you as well, just quickly. These are the last WhatsApp messages that you sent me before I came here today. 2 things. I'm about to eat mackerel. I have no milk. 3 things. I've lit a candle, goodbye. That's it. That's the sort of thing. I mean, that is just sensational. I feel so grateful to have you.
Oh my God, I feel the same.
Really grateful.
I genuinely feel the same.
Oh. Finally, what is your favourite northern saying or phrase? I've got a word that I want to chuck in first of all, which is pie-clit.
A
pie-clit.
That's good.
Yes.
I like the word nash, which means cold.
Yeah, that's great.
It's
nash.
like, oh, I'm nash, which is very northern.
I think this is from Newcastle, this phrase, which is if somebody's banging on, if they're going on and on and on and on and on, a bit naggy, then they're working their ticket. Do you know that?
I've never heard that.
Stop working your ticket.
Oh,
that's great,
that is
isn't
good.
it? That's good.
I think I just like bayek or heck.
Bayek!
Bayek! I think that's an absolute belter.
It is, isn't it?
Bayek.
That concludes the questions and the answers for now.
For now.
There'll be more questions in the future, no doubt.
Thank you so much for watching this.
Yeah.
If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Jules Van Hep.
And I'm at this Sarah Powell.
And we have loved making videos for you. Sorry this one is a little bit late. It is, hands up, my fault.
Don't blame yourself, darling. We're all very busy.
I have been so busy and we just couldn't get a date in to film. But here she is, all done, all sorted. Please tune into the podcast if you're wondering what the hell we're on about. It's Jules and Sarah. It's on iTunes and Acast. And it's there twice a week to make you laugh.
Yeah, that's all it's there for, darling, just to cheer you up and give you a cheese addiction. We love you so much.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.